Good afternoon and welcome one and all. My name is Daniel Cairns. I'm the Head of Enrolments here at Fourth Rev, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this Q&A session regarding the Data Science Career Accelerator in partnership with the University of Cambridge Institute of Continuing Education. It also gives me great pleasure today to welcome Otto.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Otto Just. I'm a student enrollment advisor, and I'm specialized in the Data Science Career Accelerator. Later on in this webinar, I will take you through the most important details of the program. Thank you, Daniel.
Brilliant. Looking forward to that, Otto, and also looking forward to answering questions that we receive from you, as this is all about you in attendance and you finding out more about how this program may assist you in somewhat commencing, but certainly transitioning into a career in data science or advancing your existing career in data science. So just on that, I'll get you to pop any questions that you do have in the Q&A function at the bottom there. We'll reserve the chat for things like where you're from, and I can see it's great to see so many people putting where they're from in there and saying hello. Thank you ever so kindly. This session will run for 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how many questions you have. We're happy to answer, stick around and answer as many as you may have. But if you do have questions, please do put them in the Q&A and we'll get through them, and you can vote each other's up if you'd like. We will be sending around a recording, and also there'll be links being posted in the chat function for you to action, be it to book a call with myself or Otto to discuss your individual circumstances further. There'll be download a brochure, there'll be apply now, or whatever it is that you may require will be in that piece, in that function there as well. So about Fourth Rev and Cambridge, I guess. The Institute of Continuing Education's mission is to support the University of Cambridge's promise to prioritise and enable learning throughout life and to promote the widest possible access to the university. That's really important, and that's also our mandate, is to enable through overcoming some barriers that some people may experience, and you'll hear about the way in which we can do this for you as an individual, potentially enabling entry into a program such as this as well. The Institute has collaborated with us here at Fourth Rev to develop industry co-designed career accelerators to help address the shortage of high demand technical or technology and technology adjacent roles. We'll certainly touch much more deeply on that industry co-design element as well, and how practical it is. The first Data Science Career Accelerator emphasises strong statistics capabilities alongside commercial knowledge, which is what employers said they want, project experience and interpersonal skills to apply data science in ways that will deliver high value for businesses. And I guess in turn, when you're demonstrating that as a prospective candidate, high value for you as a job seeker as well. On to the next slide, if I may. So during this session, Otto and I will certainly give you an understanding of why data science is a critical skill in the digital economy, the tools, language, and software you'll learn on the program or use on the program, and how they'll give you an edge in the job market, and the features that make this career accelerator unique, such as the career coaching and the 20 practical projects that help you demonstrate your value to prospective employers again. So that being said, we're going to start with a quick overview of the program from Otto, and then dive into your questions as quickly as we can. Just a reminder though, as we discuss each portion of the program, if you have a question, pop it in the Q&A, and we'll get to that as soon as Otto gives his overview. Over to you, Otto, and thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. So let me start by saying that the program is 7 months and fully online, and it's actually very unique because it has been designed in collaboration with both academia and industry. And that's very, very important because we wanted to make sure that the skills you learn is completely aligned with the industry and potential employers. Now, since employers and the industry is focusing primarily on your applied skills and knowledge, we focus on the same through project-based learning in the program. So the idea is that we take you through 20+ industry relevant projects and assignments And at the end of the program at course 4, there is also an industry project or employer project with the Bank of England directly for 6 weeks period of time, which is definitely a great opportunity, of course, to work with such an institution. But the idea here is whatever you learn, you will put it into practice through the project work. And at the same time as you progress with your projects, you actually build a digital portfolio of evidence for yourself, which will be the number one tool to demonstrate your skills and knowledge to the industry. Now, in terms of the structure and the content of the program, I want to mention also that we actually focus on 4 knowledge and skill groups that lays the foundation for successful career growth. And those are, of course, the technical skills and the business knowledge. Actually, we focus as much on the business knowledge as your technical skills. And what we mean by that is basically how to use your technical skills in a business context to solve problems through data. That's extremely important, both for you as well as for the industry. Now, in terms of the structure, so you can see that there are 4 courses in the Data Science Career Accelerator. Actually, before you start course 1, there is a 3 weeks of preparation and orientation period. We will help you to, of course, prepare, and you will also meet with the support staff. Now, after these 3 weeks of orientation, you actually start course 1, which is 6 weeks long, and it's called Applying Statistics and Core Data Science Techniques in Business. Now, as the name suggests, this course is mainly focusing on statistical methods in data science and, of course, how to apply them in different scenarios. Now, once you complete course 1, there is a week reflection or break period. And then you start course 2, which will highly focus on your technical skills. So it will cover machine learning concepts, regressions, decision trees, random forest, boosting XGBoost. So it will be packed with a lot of technical skills, of course, that you go through. And then once again, after course 2, you have a 1 week break. And then you start course 3, which is actually the longest course in the program. So it will take 10 weeks to actually complete. But because of that, we integrated a week mid-course break in the middle of course 3. And so basically the first half of course 3 is mainly focusing on NLP studies. And the second half will be heavily focusing on time series analysis and forecasting. But on the other hand, in course 3, you will also have bigger projects to complete. And that's why you need actually more time to complete this course. Now, once you completed course 3, there is once again a week reflection period. And that's the time when you transition into course 4, which is basically the Bank of England industry project live for 6 weeks. However, along the Bank of England project, you will still be covering certain topics such as generative AI, ChatGPT, and just generally the ethical AI and business applications. Now, in terms of the industry project with Bank of England, it's absolutely a very exciting opportunity. So let me talk just a bit more about that. It will be actually a team project. So when you get there, you will team up with 4 or 5 classmates, and you will actually receive live data from the Bank of England. Now, at the beginning of the industry project, there will also be a live meeting or presentation of this project to your team. And then you've got 6 weeks to actually complete the project. And at the end, you will actually present it live back to the Bank of England. So that's definitely a nice and live experience in there. But once again, the idea with everything we do in the program is, first of all, for you to have the skills that the industry is looking for. And second is obviously we want to make sure that you achieve the desired career outcome. Now, in terms of the actual study itself and the support that we provide, I think that's really important to have a clear understanding on that. Now, we say that you need an average of around 20 hours per week to manage all your studies and activities. And when I say studies, it's kind of a blend of synchronous and asynchronous learning. So first of all, in the online classroom environment, you will always find your study materials, which are readings and pre-recorded lectures, as well as, of course, your assignments and activities and project work. So basically, you can go through the materials and do your studies within the week whenever it's convenient to you. But on the other hand, we also run weekly 2 one-hour live class meetings with the whole class and the tutor. Now, these sessions are kind of a Q&A session. So just to ask any questions you have about the actual week and the assignments. However, if you can't make it live, we actually record these sessions. So potentially you can also watch them in your free time. Now, exactly the same way, bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks, you will have a live industry mentoring group session as well, which is extremely important because, of course, the industry mentors will help you to align yourself with the industry much, much better, but also maybe to ask, specific questions from the industry mentor that relates to your industry or the industry where you want to get into. Now, I also want to mention that on top of these preset group sessions, you also have the option to actually book a one-on-one meeting with both your tutor as well as the industry mentor. Yeah. So basically, these activities and of course your studies and the project work will take around this more or less 20 hours per week. Now, since obviously the program is an advanced level, so the idea here is that we start everything from scratch, but when you actually complete the program, you will achieve advanced level in terms of your data science skills. And of course, you will have an advanced level portfolio matching those skills and demonstrating those skills. So this is the key that we want you to achieve, of course. Now, we also have a lot of support available besides your tutor and the industry mentor. We want to make sure that if you get stuck or you have a question, you will always have someone to reach out to. So actually, when you start, we will assign a student success manager to you who will be your primary contact for support. They will be also very, very active in the first 3 weeks of orientation. They will be helping you to prepare. Besides that, we actually have a very dedicated Python technical support available, which will be there for you just in case if you get stuck with coding throughout your assignments and projects. Of course, they will be ready to help you out. And the last type of support is actually the most important for most of the candidates, especially from your career's perspective, since it's executive career coaching, which is extremely successful, by the way. So our coaches are extremely knowledgeable and helping thousands of students to achieve the desired career outcome. So basically, the career coaches will focus, of course, on your employability as well as your personal capabilities that I mentioned at the very beginning of the explanation. Now, the idea is that you will have the first session with your coach right at the beginning in that orientation period, where obviously you will get to know each other, but more importantly, you will actually discuss and set a goal together. And the goal should be whatever you want to achieve as a desired career outcome. Now, for a lot of students, that could be a particular position that they are looking at. They're just not ready to apply for that. And so the coach will actually work with them. They will guide them through the whole program, first of all, to make sure that they apply at the right time, or you apply at the right time. But more importantly, they will help you to kind of strengthen your profile through LinkedIn, through your CV, but also generally how to use the portfolio that, let's say, you already completed to actually match the requirements of the potential employers. Now, once you got an interview or a meeting, they will also prepare you for that. So we definitely expect most of the students to achieve the desired career outcome, since everything what we do in this program is all focusing on that. And as a matter of fact, we have an incentive coming up next week, which is, I think, is very exciting. And Daniel is going to talk maybe a bit more about that. But we can move to the next slide. Entry requirements. So I would like to talk a bit about the entry requirements here. Now, the first one is an undergraduate degree with at least one quantitative study unit. That could be a math, statistics, accounting, or something similar as well. At least a year of work experience in a role that handles data. Now, here I just want to make that clear that you don't have to be a data scientist or a data analyst to qualify. So any role wherever you work with data, you look at data, you handle data, that could actually qualify you for that. Now, the next one is IELTS certificate with an overall band score of 7. Now, I want to mention that we only require IELTS if you didn't study higher education in English or your first language is not English. Now, the last one, which is also very important, of course, it's foundational technical skills, which is basically basic Python skills applied to data science, of course. Now, if you don't have Python skills yet, not to worry. We actually have a couple of free courses that will prepare you for the requirements to join the Data Science Career Accelerator. And I would generally say that if you don't meet with any of the criteria, you could actually still qualify for the program. So we really like to look at every applicant on an individual basis. And I would suggest you to, if you have doubts, if you are unsure about your qualification, or you just want to get more details on the program and the application process, then feel free to book an appointment with me or Danielle, and we will walk you through the whole process and answer your questions as well. So I think in a nutshell, this is more or less about the program. And I'm handing it back to Danielle.
Thank you, Otto. Brilliant, a great overview. And there's a few things to touch on, and we've got some brilliant questions coming through. I thought I'd try and answer these, or have us answer these questions in a bit of a chronological order, according to how you presented. So someone's asked, fully online, can I attend sessions at the university?
Is it for me?
Yes, sorry.
Great, all right. Well, the answer for that is no. Unfortunately, the program is fully online, so there is no physical attendance required.
Someone's also asked about the entry requirements that we've just gone over. Now, there's a question here, Otto. The live sessions, can you give us an example of how they're delivered and what time?
Right. So basically, there are, with the tutor and the class, there are weekly 2 live sessions for an hour duration. Now, one of the sessions are usually on Wednesdays in the evening time around 7 p.m. The other one is on Thursdays at noon, actually. And that's because, some students prefer to attend at noon time, at lunchtime. Some prefers attending, after working hours. Now, both of the sessions are basically the same. So it's questions and answers, and you will have the recording of both of the sessions. But again, if you can make it live, of course, that's the best, because then you can get the most out of it. And that's exactly the same way with the industry mentoring, except that is bi-weekly. Yeah, so I think the industry mentoring session is actually Thursday evening around 7 p.m. if I'm right.
Excellent, thank you. So can someone have a full-time job and do the course? With what you were just saying then, there is a great deal of flexibility. I guess what we say is that it's been designed with either full-time workers in mind, and it's that degree of flexibility, it being designed to fit in with you, the learner, rather than the learner fitting in with the university timetable. So if someone can commit and make the sacrifices over the 7-month period that can enable them to do 20 or so hours per week of blended synchronous and asynchronous delivery, then yes, they certainly can work full-time and do the job. What I've always recommended people do, though, is it's a big commitment. It's academically rigorous. It's also highly practical, but 20 hours a week is a lot. And look, some weeks you might do a little bit less, and some weeks you might certainly do more if there's a project due or an assignment due. But engage others in your decision that may be impacted by your commitment, be that family, be that colleagues, whoever is important to you, to say, look, I'd love to apply to the University of Cambridge Institute of Continuing Education for the Data Science Career Accelerator. And if I'm accepted, this is what it would look like over the next 7 months from the start date. What it may mean is I'm not available to go out for drinks on a Friday night with the girls or the boys or whatever, because I'll have an assignment due, or, the kids' sport on a Saturday, you might be able to drop them off but not pick them up. just be aware that there is sacrifice, but it is designed to accelerate your career. And that's the most important thing. It is condensed into a 7-month period to basically take people from somewhat little to no experience to, fully fledged applying for data scientist roles. So just be aware of involving others and seeing their pride in you being accepted also when, especially if they're kids of yours, when you're accepted as well. So you can certainly do a full-time job and this as well. We'll move on to, there's a lot of questions regarding job outcomes. I'm going to come to them last and group a number of them together. Start date, Otto.
So the next intake is the 24th of June, and we have 60 placements available in class. So I would encourage everyone to apply if you still want to get a place.
And we're close to 50% capacity for that
That's
presentation.
correct.
There is another one later in the year.
Yes, that is on the 30th of September.
I'm reading questions, so forgive me for looking up and not at the camera. Cost of the program and how can learners be supported with payment plans, Otto?
That's a great question, actually. So the total fee of the program is £8,000. It covers everything, so there are no hidden fees or extra costs. And so basically you have 4 options with that. So of course you can choose to pay all at once, but you can also take a 6 months, a 9 months, or potentially a 24 months interest-free payment plan. Now, with all the payment plans that we offer, actually, upon acceptance, there is an £800 deposit to be paid to complete your registration. And then the balance is just equally divided into 6, 9, or 24.
Brilliant, thank you. So the idea there is there's nothing more to purchase. It includes the executive coaching that is the coaching program that is available to you as well. And those interest-free and fee-free payment plans are a great way to enable access to people as well. Just a reminder, if you can please pop your questions in the Q&A, not the chat function. We'll be answering them from the Q&A. Regarding the project, Otto, so there's a couple here during the 6-week program, and thank you, Ingrid, for this question. During the 6-week program, are we going to attend the offices of Bank of England? At what time and frequency? And someone else has said, if they actually do the project, do they need to be in the UK because they're not? Can you structure or demonstrate to the audience how the project is structured online?
Right. So as answer to the question, you don't have to go to the headquarters or to the office of the Bank of England. So the communication will be through video meetings with the Bank of England, and of course via messages, as well as your tutor is going to facilitate, the communication and the process while you are working on the project for 6 weeks period of time. There will be mainly, 2 larger video meetings, I would say. So right at the very beginning, the Bank of England team will actually discuss and explain the whole project and release the live data to your team. And then after that, for 6 weeks, it will be mainly you and your team, of course, working on the project. If there's need to be communication, there will be, of course, communication between you and the industry partner. And of course, your tutor will facilitate that and help you with everything. But when you get to the end of the 6 weeks, then again, there will be a live meeting online as a video meeting where your team will actually present the whole project back to the Bank of England. So that's a really nice opportunity.
And receive feedback. And someone has asked here, how is course 4 graded? Does everyone in the group have equal weighting? Correct. So there is a great deal of support during the project as well, but the benefit is numerous, and it's a real cornerstone of the program, and it answers one of the questions also about what makes this program different. To be able to have a real live industry project based on real data that is both live, but is both either publicly and privately held data from a partner such as Bank of England, to apply your learning from the first 3 and 4 and course 4 into that project to test your learning outcomes and practically apply your new skills is a brilliant way in which to embed that learning, firstly. Secondly, the benefit of the project is more numerous in that it's great to network with your fellow learners over a project because there's such a diverse group of people on the program. It's also brilliant to work and network with people of the caliber that we do with Bank of England and some other industry partners. And lastly, it's an inspiring story to tell. And what I mean by that is picture yourself in your job, in your next job interview for your dream job, be it your first role as a data scientist or you're progressing as a data scientist. And they ask, what experience do you have, or what was your course like? Traditionally, it's easy to say I met some great people and I got 80% on my exam, which is great. But it's highly inspirational to tell a story of how you worked with the Bank of England on this project. This is the challenge that they presented. Here's an example of the most innovative and tangible solutions that we came up with. Here's the feedback we received, and here's the potential impact of our work on industry or on that particular project. So it's about that as well as the learning experience, as to how you position the learning experience as well. There's a couple of questions here. So Loretta's asked, Otto, if you're wanting to access the course via non-traditional route, i.e. your degree is not considered STEM, is there a way to navigate the first entry criteria?
Yes, definitely. So as I mentioned earlier, we want to look at every applicant on an individual basis. And obviously, as I mentioned, if you don't meet with one of the entry criteria, so you could still qualify for the program. It will depend mainly on your past experience. But Loretta, I think we also have a meeting scheduled, so I think we will definitely discuss your individual case.
Brilliant. And Loretta's also asked about the assessment to take the course, so we'll certainly cover that. We've got that as in the wings as well, that people can take. So someone else has asked, so is it equal weighting? Yes, sorry, you didn't answer my question. There is equal weighting for the project portion of the project. Yes, it is equal weighting. There are also grades in course 4 though, alongside the 2-week process surrounding the generative AI and ChatGPT use of the future of data science as well. So there is a bit of a split in grading for that as well. I hope that helps you with that specific question. Next question. Can I speak to someone that has done the course? In short, I'll say yes and no, and I don't mean to sit on the fence. I'll say no because no one's finished the course yet. The first ever presentation of this exciting new program was commenced in March. Most pleasingly, we're already seeing learners obtain intended career outcomes during their studies, which is what it's all about for us and obviously for Cambridge in this regard. However, we will be hosting a similar process to this, a webinar or a similar type event to this with a learner that's currently in the program ahead of the next presentation, which is coming up. I think that's planned for a couple of weeks' time. So you'll certainly be able to speak to a current learner in a forum such as this as well. We won't enable that for each individual to reach out to an individual learner while they're learning. Of course, it would be too much if we had 100 people, wanting to speak to 10 to the 60 students that are in there. It wouldn't be fair on them. It's more convenient to do it in a webinar forum where everyone can ask questions of that learner and their experience in the program. So that's coming up. Someone said, how do you compare this program with similar programs with other universities? Also, do you know anything about the job prospects? As I heard, it's a bit saturated. It is, yes, somewhat, but we're finding already that the process that we've gone through to design this content and how fresh it is, I must admit, it's brand new. Therefore, it's hyper relevant to exactly what employers are seeking. And that's the most important thing. I think if you're looking at masters and things like that are more than, 12, 18 months old, you've got to question the relevancy of the content in the way that the world has changed, ensuring that your curriculum keeps up with the pace of change. And this certainly has and does, because it is brand new and is always being continuously updated as well. There's other ways in which we compare it. the university backing that it has, so the blend of both industry and academic rigor that makes it what it is as well. And then lastly, the engagement that you have with the academics and the industry mentor. Otto's already mentioned that earlier, but that's invaluable for you. Coupling that with the coaching that we're going to touch on next, because there's a few questions about career outcomes, makes it the most unique proposition in the market today. It's what employers are seeking. It's not just the technical, it is the application of the technical in a business sense. They want people that are going to grow and learn their personal skills along the way, but also then your ability to position the learning outcomes for your employability, your intended employability outcome is what makes this different. That we call that the quadrant of learning that's embedded: the technical, the business application of that, your personal growth during the program, and then the employability as well. Anything else to add, Otto, as to why you feel it's different to other
Yes,
programs that are available?
definitely. Well, first of all, I would like to add that we actually have students in this program who recently completed a master degree in data science, and not only one, but actually multiple. And that's the reason for that is because academia and industry are two separate things. Now, academic degrees are usually not aligned, or at least not as aligned with the industry as a professional program, which is fully focusing on that. So my answer to students, and actually I get this question quite a lot, whether to do a master degree or do the data science career accelerator, my answer is always, what is it that you want to achieve? If you want to achieve career, progression or transitioning into data science and achieve an advanced level position, then a professional program, the Data Science Career Accelerator, is designed to help you exactly with that. And that's also the reason why we have students who recently completed a master's in data science, because they didn't actually, first of all, the feedback I received from them is that they don't feel confident because they haven't gone through enough projects, they haven't applied their skills, and there were no industry partners enough to make them confident that they are really a data scientist. So they come especially for that, for this program. Yeah, that's what I wanted to add, Daniel.
Exactly. Someone else has asked, there are other fourth rev collaborative courses. Is this becoming a crowded market? Is it becoming a crowded market from a fourth rev perspective? No, we design programs that certainly complement each other. And what I mean by that is the first learner that enrolled in the first presentation of this new career accelerator was actually a graduate of our LSE Data Analytics Career Accelerator. So that people are making the progression from analytics to science via that career accelerator as well. And it is certainly our intent to, as we have done with other partners, ensure that this becomes in the future an award-bearing qualification as well. And that will depend on the outcome of learners as they go through and the appetite for a capstone project that would make it at level 7 qualification as well. We've got heaps of questions still coming through, so we'll get into some of them. Do you actually assist with enabling students to access the job market? Do you offer minimum number of job interviews? What separates you from other courses that we've touched on? Just quickly, I'll get Otto to dive in a bit deeper than that. We don't offer job interviews at all. We enhance your networking in a number of ways through masterclasses with recruiters or with industry partners, with the industry project as well. And because there's been a number of partners that have assisted in the design of the content, they're eagerly looking at ways in which they can get their hands on the available talent coming out the other end, because they know they'll have the skills that they're seeking. It's a great question, though. So what we will do is not only expand your network through the events and the structure of the program, and you'll network with each other, but you'll also have a toolkit through the executive coaching process that will enable you to, with a greater deal of confidence, enact a strategy to execute on your job seeking much, much more confidently. And I think that's really important. It's not just the skills for the next job, the skills that you are learnt through or that you obtain through the coaching program will see you apply them in any role that you apply for in the future. So it's up to you to find the jobs or the right job for you, but your coach is going to guide you towards having the greatest chance of success with that. They're also going to guide you, if you are being interviewed during the program, as to how to approach a specific interview. That's what coaching's about. It's now that I'll touch on this, though, because it's an important question and one that will, no doubt this will resonate with a lot of you as well. We're so pleased that there's so many career outcomes that the Career Accelerator models are generating. And often it's a case of not only the learning outcomes that we've explained, but it's the coaching that assists people realize value in this program that they didn't realize there was before. And always the feedback we get was, not only is it amazing, but I was so surprised with how valuable the coaching was. What we will be offering, and you'll get notification of this very, very shortly, but you're the first to hear about it because you're attending today, is we'll offer you coaching until you obtain your intended career outcome. Now, there'll be T's and C's around it. It'll be a 12-month process, but all of our learners obtain their intended career outcomes within a 6-month period of completing a career accelerator. Not everyone's looking, though, for a career outcome. Many data scientists that enrolled in the first program are actually looking to apply the robust learning to their current roles. But we will offer you an extended period of coaching, ensuring that you've got even greater chance of you obtaining your intended career outcome by investing in yourself through this program as well. Someone's asked, how do employers view the certification from this course, in particular compared to a master's degree? We've touched on it, but I'll see if there's anything else we can say. Or is the main benefit of this course building a portfolio to demonstrate your skills and knowledge? Yes, it is, and it's a great question. Employers, as we've touched on, because there's been involvement from the concept design of the Career Accelerator, are excited to get there to see the outcomes of from the learners, but also the portfolio and the industry integration ensure that employers view this extremely beneficially. And it's Cambridge. Let's not forget that the employer rating for Cambridge is extremely high, as you would expect as well. Otto, next question. Someone's asked if there's lifelong continuous work placement support. No, it's not lifelong, but we will support you hopefully until you obtain your intended career outcome. And you're always part of us as well. We'll always have events that we offer our alumni. It might be in the form of masterclasses with new technologies that are impacting data science. It could be recruitment companies. It could be any number of things that you'll still get invited to, as well as the coaching for the period of time as well. Just checking on time. Ivana's asked if some of us don't have to do it all of the time. Are there study extensions available or not really? Do you want to explain the policy behind that, Otto?
Right. So I would say normally, of course, there is a structure and you have certain assignments at certain times and project work, which will all be clear once you are in the actual course, of course, so you can see everything ahead. So generally speaking, you have to meet the deadlines. However, there are extensions possible with the program, and that's something that you would have to discuss with your student success manager at that point when you need some extension for that. It is possible that, let's say, 1 week you can study, and then we will, of course, personally help you to kind of catch up with the project work after that. But I just want to mention that when you are in a course, then you cannot really skip 2 consecutive weeks, because that would be just too much project work for you to be able to catch up.
Exactly. I'm just going through more. Let's get through some more. Is this course can be considered for beginners level or have some knowledge of data? So in the entry criteria, it is certainly a requirement that you have worked with data in any capacity for a period of time, for 12 months, Otto, correct? And obviously a unit of what is it, Otto? The unit of quantitative studies at undergrad or postgrad previously as well. Someone said, I can't afford this right now, but I'm interested. What can I do? The best thing to do might be to speak with Otto still. And that might be a case of him explaining the opportunity of extending payments over a longer period of time with our partner in EdAid. That may be a possibility. So we do partner with EdAid for UK citizens or visa holders that can offer an interest and fee-free payment plan over a 24-month period. Anshu's asked, do I understand right that there's a prereq for good fluency with Python? Yes. Do you want to explain that a little bit more in
Right.
depth as to the requirement there, Otto?
Definitely. And I also want to add a little bit to the previous question that so the idea is that we start everything from scratch in the program, but actually when you complete this program, you will have advanced level, or if you like, senior level data science skills. And actually that's also one of the reasons why you see that there are certain courses offering, for example, job placement. Those are internships. Now we are preparing you for an advanced level position. So ideally, we could even help you with transitioning senior to senior, depending, of course, in your background. Now back to the Python. So even though we start everything from scratch, we do require basic level of Python skills, but it's really basic. And the reason for that is because we want to make sure when you get into class and you see the materials and the codes, then you know what you are seeing, basically. And so you will go through 4 courses that we can send you, which will take you only about 20-25 hours actually to complete them. And they will completely prepare you for the basic requirements in terms of Python. And then everything else, of course, and the specific data science skills that will all be taught throughout the program itself. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What software do we learn during this course or need to have knowledge to start with? Python, obviously. Any other considerations there, Otto?
So I just want to mention that for the portfolio, we are using Google Colab. And of course, like you said, Python is the main language. And obviously, Python is the #1 language and also tool for a senior level data scientist. And that's simply because through Python, you can actually do everything that you could do with other resources, for example, or tools. So you will be actually exploring all those options and Python libraries.
Ingrid's asked here also, there is a need for orgs to generate internal LLMs. Is there a portion of the course focusing on this? Is this something you can answer, Otto, or is it something we need to reach out to Ingrid
I think we
to
need to
assist
reach
with?
out.
Yep. Ingrid, can you make a note of that, Otto, and we'll come back to you on that one.
Right.
Will there be employers meet and greet week? There is, well, you do meet with your employer, well, not with your employer, with the Bank of England, your industry partner, employer project partner on a regular basis. However, all throughout the program, there are also additional events that we host, such as the masterclass series that are embedded within the program, and they could be guest speakers on any number range of topics. It could be an employer that is reaching out. We have employers seeking or reaching out to us on a regular basis saying, can you post this job for your learners? I've got this advanced role. Is this, do you have learners capable of taking on this type of role? But also recruitment partners that we'll work with throughout the program that will also host events. So there's not a meet and greet week, but there is amazing networking opportunities woven throughout the whole entire program, I think is a better way of answering that one. Otto, could you please provide some examples of jobs that a student that studies the Accelerator could land following?
Right. So as I mentioned earlier, we ideally want to prepare you or at least equip you with senior level data science skills. Now, back to the question, of course, the sort of job that you can achieve, that will, of course, depend on your existing skills and knowledge and your past experience and how much transferable skills you have, of course, into data science. But like I said, primarily, we are looking to prepare you for a real data science position. That could be a senior data scientist position as well. Again, depending on your background. Now, the coaches will be able to help you much, much more, and also not just help you, but kind of guide you what would be the best solution for you. It depends really much on your past experience, because if you are a data scientist already in the industry, then it's kind of obvious that you want to position yourself or you want to achieve a higher level, a senior level data science role. So that's what we would be focusing on, of course. Now, if you are someone who's got a lot of experience, strong experience related to data and want to transition completely into data science, then again, the coaches will discuss with you your experience, but also your preferred industry. Since basically throughout this program, you will learn the skills that will be applicable to every industries. every industry that works with data, regardless of company, industry, you will be able to use your skills and apply your knowledge in any scenarios.
Exactly. And it's inspiring to hear how many unique ways in which learners are applying the learning outcomes to individual scenarios, careers, but also industries and sectors. It's amazing. You know, we've got some inspiring stories to tell upcoming. Daniel's got a question here. Would work experience in supply chain and logistics of 10 years have enough quantitative analytical content? Yes, Daniel, in short, yes. So definitely book a time to meet with Otto or myself, and we'll go through that and assist anyone that books a time with us. Our intent is to learn about you first, to understand your intended outcomes, to provide an overview if required, and to give you the information for you to make a decision. It's not sign up now and do this now. It's really about you and how we can align what this may offer with your intended outcomes as well. So thank you, Daniel. I think we can certainly help you with that level of experience. And I think regardless of whether you're looking to advance your career where you are or change, the amount of transferable skills that you would possess would be a great benefit in having the coach bring them to the forefront as well and help you profile both your existing experience and new skills for the outcome of your intended career. Someone's also asked, so there are free DFE courses that offer networking opportunities and even help with coaching. If you aren't helping bridge the gap between students and employers, why pay? So I don't know that we're not bridging the gap between employers and students. I certainly think we are. And we're doing it in a way that is accelerating one's opportunity to achieve an intended career outcome. So we might not have an internship program, for example, but this is well above internship level by the time you finish. It would be a step backwards to do an internship. We may not have a guaranteed job outcome, but I don't think with a lot of the job guarantees that are out there, you've got to apply for 30 jobs a week to meet that guarantee. You've got to apply for jobs that don't even align with your intended career outcome. That's a complete not a furphy and a waste of time in our opinion, because we would much rather you be using a sniper rifle to attain your role than a shotgun in the hope of hitting something. So the skills obtained, the coaching to assist you raise your profile, the networking opportunities, but also the compelling portfolio of evidence and storytelling that will come from this when you're in front of an employer will hold you in the best stead possible. Why pay? Well, with all that value packed in, I think it's extremely cost competitive to invest in oneself with the outcomes that will be derived from your investment in yourself. And I guess, you know, depending on your intended outcome is to you to weigh up whether the value is there for your intended or your individual circumstances or not. We can certainly see it. We've seen it for a long time with our other career accelerators, and we're most excited now to be offering this with Cambridge Institute of Continuing Education as well. I hope that answers the question, and I understand your line of thinking, but you can walk somewhere or you can get a bus or you can buy a Ferrari. It depends on your intended destination and how quickly you want to get there as to the investment you want to make in how you get there, I guess. I just came up with that then, Otto. I hope that, I hope that made sense.
Can I just add something to that? So I think the reason why you're asking this question is, first of all, because you haven't got yet the skills and you're not confident about that. So you're looking for a job placement. But once you are in the program and you've got the full confidence as a data scientist and senior level skills, being able to apply senior level positions, what you want specifically, then you wouldn't actually want us to place you in a job that we choose for you. So that's actually what the program is preparing you for. So it's very well thought, you know, and it's very well designed in a way to boost your confidence and become, you know, a data scientist if you are not yet, and equip you with those senior level skills that will enable you to actually apply to any senior level data science position. So the reason why we don't actually provide that is, again, because we don't prepare you for an internship level job, but we prepare you for an advanced level job. Yeah.
Really well put. Thank you all. What I'd ask people to do lastly, and happy to answer any other questions if there are any, but in the chat function, not the Q&A function, there is a number of resources there that are highly beneficial. Firstly, book a time with us if you haven't already. Secondly, there is the brochure as well. And lastly, if you would like to apply, I'll get Sam that's in assistance to pop in the application link now. Otto, lastly, my question to you, what's involved in a successful application for everyone in attendance?
Right, great point. So we generally require 4 application elements. One is a copy of your academic transcripts, a copy of your CV or a LinkedIn profile, a copy of your ID or passport, and a 500-word personal statement, which we have a template available for. So basically, there is an online application platform. We can send you the link after a meeting. And once you submit your application, we can review if everything looks good. Then, of course, we can get you a decision and come back to you within 2 working days. I hope that answers the question.
Spot on. I'll just, if Sam's got the application link, if not, let me know and I'll grab it in another, I'll grab it now actually, if Sam hasn't got it. Hang on one second.
For the application, just want to add also that there are, of course, people who need to prepare for Python skills. Now, in that case, we actually have 2 application pathways. You can still apply first and actually reserve your placement with a deposit payment. And in that case, you don't have to worry about the class, filling up while you are actually focusing on the Python study. So I always tell to students, if you are fully committed and sure that you want to do the program, then the best way is to apply first, reserve your place, and then you can just fully focus on going through the Python courses. And you reach out to us before the intake at any time to take the Python technical test. The other way is, of course, we can also send you up from the Python courses. You can go through them and then you reach out to us when you actually ready to take the technical test. And once you pass the test, then we complete your application. About the test, I just want to mention that, again, we are talking about testing basic Python skills. So it's a 13-question test. Whereby 3 questions are kind of small coding tasks and 10 multiple choice questions. And the test takes usually an hour to complete.
Brilliant. Thank you, Otto. That's for those of you that need to develop your Python skills or need to demonstrate them prior to entry. Those of you that are Python proficient won't need to go through that process already as well. So I'd like to say a really, really big thank you to everyone that has attended, and pat yourself on the back. It's easy on a Friday to say, I'm going to go out for a pint at lunch rather than listen to Otto and Daniel. I won't say carry on, but listen to Otto and Daniel. But you've made a decision in arming yourself with more information towards making a decision for your life. Life decisions are big. Be it your investment in yourself, time and money for this program, or be it in a choice to change or advance your career into a different role. They're significant life decisions. Otto and I fully empathise with that. And whenever you speak with either of us, you'll hear that and feel that empathy in the conversation. It's more about an open discussion about you than it is us trying to sell anything. It's more about aligning your intended outcomes with what this can provide and facilitating the successful way in which to go about that as well. I hope that was, I'll just double check if there's any last questions. No, thank you for the feedback as well. We will send around a recording. Reach out to us. We'd love to lastly, before I sign off, thank you, Otto. Your insights taught me a thing or two, but no doubt were valued by the audience as well. I hope you enjoyed it.
Definitely. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I hope that I'm going to meet with most of the attendees here on a meeting.
Yeah, we'd love to. We'll certainly do some outreach. We've got some events coming up, as we mentioned earlier. But lastly, we would love to welcome, we would love to support, but most of all, we would love to celebrate your success in your career, either during or following your completion of the Career Accelerator. That's what it's all about for us. That's what we hope to do for you. Thank you all. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.